Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Shelly, and here we talk about Shelly's thoughts over 60. So, my thoughts today are about growing up with not too much in the 70s. Like, I grew up pretty, I don't want to say poor, but pretty tight in the 70s. In fact, I remember when I was a kid, if you had two TVs, I thought you was rich. Two bathrooms. If you had two bathrooms, you were rich. And God forbid I met somebody with a pool. Man, you got a pool, you're really rich. So, but I remember in the 70s, like the dollar movies and bologna and mustard sandwiches after school, or even at school for lunch. Just all that stuff, right? Eating hot dogs on regular bread because why buy buns? You know, it's cheaper to use bread. So it's so funny to me because I don't regret. I don't regret any of that. I don't regret. In another video, I was telling you guys, I remember when they shut our electric off one time. Yeah, sitting around in the dark. My parents made everything funny, everything fun. And I think growing up, in the 70s, you know, I didn't have, like, to me, I didn't know we were poor or didn't have as much as everybody else. I didn't know, you know, I thought everybody lived like me, you know. And then as I got, you know, into my like 9, 10 years old and I start going to my friend's house and I say, oh, wow, they have two bathrooms. Wow, they have two TVs, or they have a pool, or they have two cars in your family. Like, to me, you were like really rich. And I don't think that hurt me. I don't think growing up with not that much hurt me. I remember going to a party one time. I think I was 10 or 11 years old. And I remember my mom wrapped this person's gift in the funny papers, the Sunday funnies. Yeah. And I'm going to this girl's birthday party and all these people are there, you know, and I come in with this gift and it's wrapped in the Sunday funnies, the funny section, you know. And me and my brother used to fight over it all the time. So I get there, and of course everybody has those big fancy, you know, presents with the bows and the you know, and here I come with mine. Well, this girl was so nice about it. She was like, "Oh my God, this is so cool," you know. And she had like this bucket of silly putty, and everyone's smashing silly putty on these funnies, you know, because you could peel it back and the pictures were on there. And it made me feel less, I guess, embarrassed, you know, or whatever. I don't know, but she was really cool about it, which was unusual. Usually girls back in the 70s, probably even now, when they're real pretty and they have a lot of money, they're not so humble, right? They're not so nice. But she was really cool about it, you know, and, but yeah, like, and, you know, I don't think we knew, or maybe we did know. I didn't know until I was older, but, yeah, I mean, you know, I remember we had a pair of shoes that was for parties and holidays and Sundays, you know, fancy shoes. And then we had the everyday shoes, right? Man, we stuffed them things with paper or whatever we had to do to get them through, right? And it's so crazy to me. You know, I talked to my husband about this one time. You know, he didn't grow up hurting for anything. You know, I remember school clothes was like, oh my God, I was lucky if I got 2 pairs of jeans, right? So it's such a strange thing to me, you know. His mom didn't work, and he, you know, he couldn't fathom like sitting in the dark, or if they shut the water off, going to a friend's house to take a shower, you know, or growing up tough like that. And it didn't bother me later on in life, you know, as I got older. I don't think that hurt me at all. Honestly, I think it gave me an appreciation for things. It taught me the value of things. You know, you hear people talk about, you know, like I remember opening our cabinet. You remember the glasses from McDonald's that you used to get like in the late 70s or early 80s? You know, I don't know, Return of the Jedi or whatever it was. You know, you had these glasses. You buy the Coke and you keep the glass. We had all of them. The ones from Pizza Hut. We didn't have matching dishes and nothing. I mean, it just didn't occur to me that we were not, I don't know, like, I thought we were like everybody else. I guess what I'm trying to say. And sometimes I think kids now could use a little bit of that. Maybe they could use sitting in the dark a little bit, sitting with that power off sometimes. And it did. It gave me a sense of value, appreciating how hard my parents are, because I didn't have grandparents, I didn't have aunts, uncles, cousins. It was just us. It was just me, my parents, my brother and sisters, and it was just us, right? And we didn't have anyone to lean on or fall on. It was really just us. And then on top of it, I was a real sick kid, and that's a whole another video. But yeah, I look back on those times fondly. You know, I talk to my children about it, my grandchildren. They never went through anything like that. You know, luckily, I have been fortunate. My children never had to, like, you know, power was out or anything like that. But yeah, I have a soft spot for women now, and men, or families, or anyone who goes through that. You know, your power shut off, or you're trying to stretch that dollar to the next week so you don't have the internet shut off, or you don't have, because now no internet, you can hardly even watch TV, right? So it's a strange thing. Did you guys grow up in the 70s? Like, I remember not feeling like we were different from anybody else for a long time until I got older and went to my friends' houses. You know, it was an odd time, right? Right? And I don't regret it. I think it was pretty cool growing up in those times, you know, playing the old Red Rover and coming home when the street lights come on, and, you know, it was, and we survived. We fell over, we rubbed dirt in it, we went around barefoot, you know, we survived, right? Look at that, we got through it. But anyway, let me know. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, I don't think coming up like that hurt me at all. You know, my kids get like, oh my God, that must have been so hard, Mom. It must have been terrible. No, it wasn't terrible, really. It was a lot of fun. We laughed a lot. I learned a lot. I learned how to appreciate everything. And I don't regret it. So what do you guys think? Did you grow up in the 70s? Did you have it tough? Or were things a little easier for you? What do you think? Anyway, that's my 70s story. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.